Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm truly grateful to have you here today. If you're new, consider subscribing and joining our growing community, a place where we explore timeless wisdom through powerful stories. And if you find value in today's video, a like, a comment, or a share would mean the world. Your support helps us reach more souls seeking growth, peace, and deeper understanding. Now, let's dive into a story that carries a lesson many spend a lifetime searching for. It's not about chasing others. It's about mastering yourself first. This is the story of Rogers, a man who found the secret to love, not by running after it, but by standing still in his own power. Before she ever chased him, Rogers had already found what he truly needed, himself. Before Rogers won her heart, before she even noticed him among the endless noise of the world, he did something almost no one does anymore. He won his own heart first. This is not a story of grand gestures or desperate pursuits. It is a story of mastery, of one man who understood that real love is not born from neediness, but from the overflowing stillness of a soul that needs nothing. And it all began when Rogers decided to stop chasing the world and start finding himself. Rogers was once like many young men, restless, impatient, desperate for validation. He admired a woman, one unlike any he had met before. She was elegant without effort, free-spirited without recklessness. To Rogers, she seemed like sunlight caught in human form, brilliant, untouchable. Yet, to her, he was invisible, just another figure blending into the blur of everyday life. At first, Rogers did what most do. He thought of ways to impress her. Perhaps he should become louder, flashier, more noticeable. Perhaps he should chase her relentlessly, showing her he cared by making himself impossible to ignore. But something deep inside, a quiet, stubborn voice, told him otherwise. Instead, he made a radical decision. Standing alone one evening under the orange glow of the setting sun, he whispered to himself, "I will not chase what is outside of me. I will become so complete that she, or anyone, will naturally be drawn to me." Rogers withdrew from the games most people play, but not out of bitterness. It was discipline that guided him. Every morning, while the city was still asleep, he would sit in stillness beneath an ancient oak tree. He practiced Zazen, the art of sitting quietly, watching the mind without clinging to its passing clouds of thought. He watched his longing, his dreams of winning her affection, his frustration at being unseen, and he let them pass, like leaves floating down a river. He learned slowly that not every thought demanded obedience. He trained his body with equal devotion. Rising before dawn, he would run through the misty streets, his breath like smoke in the cold air. He read philosophy under the pale morning sun, Epictetus, Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, letting their ancient words shape him into something stronger, quieter. He spoke little, preferring to listen deeply to others, to hear not just their words but the emotions beneath them. He helped strangers in secret ways. A bag lifted here, a door held open there. Acts done not for recognition, but because it felt natural to give without expectation. And whenever the old temptation returned, the urge to prove himself, to shout into the world, "Notice me," he remembered the words of Marcus Aurelius. "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." He realized he did not need to explain his worth. He needed only to embody it. Months passed, seasons shifted, and slowly Rogers changed. The desperate boy who needed to be seen faded away. In his place stood a man whose joy no longer depended on being admired. His happiness became a quiet flame, self-lit, needing no fuel from outside. His presence grew dense and still, like a deep forest, powerful, but without force. His words became fewer, yet when he spoke, they carried the weight of authenticity. And then, something curious happened. The woman noticed him. First, it was a passing glance. Then another. Then, a lingering look when he wasn't even trying to be noticed. She saw in him something rare, a man who did not chase her, yet who radiated a strength and gentleness that could not be feigned. He was not performing. He was simply being. She began to wonder about him. to seek his presence, to find excuses to cross his path. Without saying a word, Rogers had done the impossible. He had invited her interest simply by walking his own silent path. But by then, Rogers had already discovered the secret he had been seeking all along. It was not her love he needed. It was not anyone's. He had found unshakable peace within himself. A love so deep, so steadfast, that nothing outside could add to it or take away from it. And because he no longer needed her, he was free to love her, fully and openly, without chains, without desperation, without fear. Not from emptiness, but from abundance. In a world that constantly urges us to pursue, to conquer, to chase after every fleeting desire, Rogers reminds us of an ancient truth. Become full within yourself. Then love, not to complete yourself, but to share your completeness with another. This is the way of Zen. This is the path of the Stoic. And this, perhaps, is the only path that leads to love that is truly free. Thank you for walking this path with me today. If Rogers' journey spoke to something deep within you, if it reminded you of the quiet power we all carry when we turn inward, I invite you to support the channel by liking this video, sharing it with someone who may need to hear it, and subscribing if you haven't already. Every bit of support helps this community grow, a place where we honor wisdom, stillness, and the strength that comes from mastering ourselves first. Remember, you are already whole. You have nothing to prove and no one to chase. Until next time, stay grounded, stay true, and keep walking your own silent path.